Fans Beyond Wrestling, this is Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place. I want to thank you for joining us for the 6th and final match from the Ringleaders taping that we're going to be uploading exclusively to youtube.com/Beyond Wrestling. And let me tell you, this one is a doozy. Here we see Drew Gulak from CZW making his Beyond Wrestling debut. A very stoic individual, a very distant individual, but he has come to Beyond Wrestling today to compete. And he loves his opponent's theme music. It is Jonny Mangue. And Drew Gulak, if you notice, not coming out to any theme music, not going to get us in any hot water with YouTube for violating the copyright and terms of service. But take a look at Jonny Mangue. Incredible shape, an incredible athlete, an incredible competitor. And there you hear Jonny Mangue alluding to his match yesterday against Jonathan Gresham, saying that there was no Doom Patrol to be found, and that's true. We haven't seen much of Doom Patrol since Chris Dickinson went out with an injury in April of this past year. Now, Jonny Mangue was confronted by Corvus Fear yesterday, who basically said, hey, look, pal, you're at a crossroads right now. You have the opportunity to make something of yourself on your own, no longer riding the curtails of Chris Dickinson. You need to break out. And you know what? I'm going to agree. I think that Jonny Mangue may actually be the best competitor in Beyond Wrestling. However, he has not been able to make a name for himself within the rest of the industry because of the negative reputation that comes along from being affiliated with the Doom Patrol. As we've said time and again, there are many eyes on Beyond Wrestling, especially from those within the wrestling industry, and the reputation that you earn at Beyond Wrestling is going to go a long way, and Jonny Mangue does not have a good one. So I'd like to think that he's going to take the opportunity in a match like this to try and repair it, but there's no guarantees. He could be just trying to sucker his opponent, Drew Gulak, who, again, not too familiar with Jonny Mangue, but is going to be tying up right now for the first time ever. Gulak using that leverage to push Mangue into the corner. Are we going to see a clean break? I've got to be honest, I'm not sure how Gulak is going to approach this match either. There we see, and Jonny Mangue respects the fact that Gulak provided him with the clean break. Now a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, and again, Drew Gulak applying the pressure, using that leverage. There you see putting pressure on the elbow of Jonny Mangue, trying to pop him up off of the mat. Put all the weight on the elbow, but Mangue's able to get that waist lock going behind. And look at this, Drew Gulak. What a unique counter. Just able, again, to use weight and leverage to find an escape. This time, Jonny Mangue right off the mat. Jonny Mangue goes to shoot in. Drew Gulak just stepping back. Gulak taking his time, not rushing in at all. Making sure that this match is going to be wrestled on his terms, but he gets caught there in a wrist lock. And again, Jonny Mangue, if he's able to go toe-to-toe with somebody who's spent, the better part of this year traveling Europe, competing all over Germany and England. Drew Gulak is no slouch in the ring, a very technical competitor. He does not get nearly enough credit for his in-ring skill. And, for Jonny Mangue so far to be able to hold his own against a world-traveled athlete like Drew Gulak, again, that goes to just demonstrate how skilled Jonny Mangue is. And again, Jonny Mangue does not get the credit he deserves because of his reputation. And I really hope he takes this opportunity to make a name for himself, to no longer be affiliated by the Doom Patrol, to escape Chris Dickinson's guidance while he is on the shelf. Because he has made a lot of bad decisions over the last year and a half, and they have not done him any favors. I mean, Jonny Mangue, he wrestled for Jersey All-Pro this year, a promotion that he grew up watching, a dream come true. He had an opportunity with Dragon Gate USA. I know he was in communication with other organizations to try and get a spot. These are high-profile companies, but it has not come to fruition. You've got to wonder if it's simply coincidence or, when the negotiation process begins, you've got a booker who's saying, hey, I've seen this guy. He's a hell of a competitor. I think he's an exciting athlete. I think that, he would really test some of the best on our roster. I think that he would entertain our fans. And then, another promoter says, hey, I've seen what he's done at Beyond Wrestling. This guy's nothing but a cancer. Just telling it like it is. You know, that's the problems that have plagued Jonny Mangue. Again, getting back to the in-ring action. He's very skilled, going hold for hold with Drew Gulak. You know, one of the head trainers at the CZW Academy. It's one thing to be good enough to hold your own, but it's another to be able to pass those skills along to another athlete. And again, look at that, just ripping away at the arm. And he might have done some damage because Jonny Mangue was trying to protect his arm there. Again, just a standoff right here between Gulak and Mangue. And so far, you know, a friendly attitude amongst both men. Again, Gulak taking that wrist. Mangue rolling through, looking for an escape, using his elbow to pry away the hands. Able to apply a wrist lock of his own. And now there you see, just driving his head into the hand of Gulak, and Gulak quick to find an escape, able to get to the ropes. But Mangue is met with a headbutt right in the gut. Sent off the ropes, and a clothesline damn near takes his head off. See the way he was clutching his neck. Mangue really shaken by that clothesline. Not able to defend himself, and with his back open, Gulak is applying a rear chinlock. Again, with the knee in between the shoulder blades, putting more pressure on that neck. And now picking away at one of the arms, too. Oh, and again, just driving it down. All impact on that shoulder. You pop a shoulder, you are not going to be able to finish a match. Never mind defeat an opponent. You know, let me take this opportunity to talk about, there's a fine line in wrestling. You know, I think a lot of these guys should go into the ring with the purpose of trying to defeat an opponent, but not necessarily disable an opponent. I don't think that anybody gets involved in wrestling so that they can put somebody on the shelf or end a career. Or I should say, I don't think anybody should get involved with wrestling to do that. After all, this is a competition. But then you do have guys like Chris Dickinson and guys like the Pit Boss who can't pick a fight on the streets because they're going to end up in jail. And I mean, the Pit Boss, somebody who's been in and out of jail for that reason. So they turn to professional wrestling where they can legally hurt somebody under the guise of a competition. And I don't think that that's right. But that is what Jonny Mangue is affiliated with. He's not somebody who's a competitor. He's somebody that's a bully. He's somebody that's a criminal. And he really needs to change that. You know, if you pop somebody's shoulder out, perhaps they should have tapped out instead of letting their pride get to the best of them. But if you go into a match purposely to injure somebody, that's not what wrestling's about, and that's certainly not what Beyond Wrestling is about. And, you know, it's a shame that the Doom Patrol has had such a long-lasting effect on everything that we've produced, everything that's come out of the project. You know, this week, meeting our 2-year mark since of Bosses and Busters. Drew Gulak, though, there you see, really shaken by that headbutt from Jonny Mangue, just walking right into him and getting caught with that overhead belly-to-belly suplex. And it's an opening like this that Mangue needs to capitalize on. And again, Mangue didn't do anything wrong there. You know, a headbutt well within the realm of what I would consider to be acceptable professional wrestling offense. Mangue's not taken a single shortcut, and see, his hard work has paid off because he's been able to find an opening. Again, using that headbutt to get Drew Gulak off his game. Concentrating more on the pain and not able to focus on the strategy that perhaps he wanted to implement to defeat Mangue. But even still, Gulak, knowing how dangerous the situation he is in, able to get the shoulders immediately off the mat, and again, not even allowing for a 2 count, not taking the extra second or 2 to rest up. There you see holding his jaw, perhaps numbness being suffered as a result of Jonny Mangue's attacks. We haven't seen any straight right hands from Jonny Mangue connecting on the jaw. You know, something else too, if you get headbutted, and your mouth is in a strange position, you might bite your tongue, you might bite your teeth, you know. Perhaps that's what happened to Drew Gulak, making a tactical error, and that headbutt really doing a lot of residual damage. I mean, even going so far as to go to the floor to get some separation. And there you see Gulak asking the referee to hold Mangue back, but I don't think Mangue had any intention of going to attack Gulak. I think that he was going to let him get in the ring. That could have been a mistake. And it looks like Gulak is starting to get a little bit desperate, perhaps underestimating Mangue. Taking a cheap shot with that knee, and again, another knee to the midsection, and just a straight drop kick to the back. A sloppy press, but Mangue able to get his foot on the rope, didn't even have to exert the energy to kick out. and now he gets picked right back up to the mat. A variation of the hammerlock. He's got that arm all tied up. And a standing submission hold from Drew Gulak, who says he does not need the applause from all the other wrestlers on the ringside. See, even over the course of this contest, in the last 10 minutes, we've seen how Gulak's demeanor has changed. And see that, now showing off to the camera person just with one arm, all leverage and pressure. Mangue cannot escape this hold. And again, just wrenching it. But Mangue able to keep that right shoulder off the mat. And Drew Gulak again, putting the boot. And now a headbutt to the back of Mangue's head. Another kick to the midsection. Oh, God. Coming up with a double axe handle, but just connects with Mangue's head. And again, Mangue using his head to take Gulak down. And again, another shot to the chest. This time he's going to hook once again, perhaps going for another overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Able to pop it off. Beautiful. Jonny Mangue is like a Samoan Kurt Angle, especially look at the shape that he's in. Give Gulak credit, though. He faced a lot of impact being driven down to the canvas with that overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Jonny Mangue, unsure perhaps how to capitalize on this opening, but hopefully he's not going to rely on some of those dubious tactics, and it doesn't look like he's going to. Instead, putting his opponent in a body scissor. Now, this is a great strategy to follow up on the attack that got Gulak down in the first place. Remember, as Gulak came off the rope with that double sledgehammer, he was met with the headbutt to the midsection. A series of headbutts was able to disable him, and then Mangue used that over-the-head, belly-to-belly suplex. So you've got to think that there's definitely going to be some internal damage being done, especially to the midsection, the rib cage, the solar plexus, that entire area. And now Mangue making sure to apply more pressure using that body scissor. But this time Gulak has found an escape. He's able to break the body scissor, and he is able to hold right onto that ankle, perhaps going to just twist the foot or maybe even apply a proper ankle lock. And there you see, while Mangue was looking for an escape, he rolled right into it. That was a mistake on Mangue's part, and one he may not be able to get away from. Oh no, his leg is grapevine. He's going to have to use all of his strength to pull his body to the ropes, or he's going to have to tap out. This is a dire situation for Jonny Mangue. And again, we've seen him fight a fair fight so far in this match, which is something that we honestly can't say for Drew Gulak. Again, when he was outside of the ring, when he came back in, he buried the knee into the midsection of Jonny Mangue, which some may consider to be a cheap shot. Others may say you're going to do whatever it takes. But look at this. Jonny Mangue able to use his strength to get to the rope. Very rarely do you see somebody escape from an ankle lock when the leg is grapevine. And there you see Drew Gulak getting into the face of the official. He needs to keep his attention off of her and keep his attention on Mangue. And just a drop kick sending him to the floor. Drew Gulak needs to keep it together because Jonny Mangue has thus far throughout this contest. Very disappointed, actually, to see Gulak behaving like this. Again, somebody who was the head trainer of the CZW Academy, when he had Mangue in that arm bar earlier in the match, even telling some of the other wrestlers on ringside how it's applied. But, he's in a position where he needs to be instilling respect, and actions speak louder than words. He has to demonstrate. There's some of his students here watching him in this match. Somebody like Fredo Major, somebody like Kit Osborne, the Latin Dragon, AJ Evers. These are all graduates from the CZW Academy. These are all wrestlers on the Beyond Wrestling roster, and these are guys who know what Drew Gulak is capable of because they have been through his training program. Give Mangue credit. He's trying to do everything he can to rally a comeback. Sending Gulak off the ropes, able to catch him again in the midsection with that beautiful standing drop kick. And, a great lateral press. Had all of the pressure applied across the shoulders of Drew Gulak, but not able to hook the leg for added leverage. Gulak still managing to get off the mat. And you got to wonder just how much damage has been done to Gulak. That one drop kick really put him out of commission so far. And, I think that all of the wrestlers in Beyond Wrestling who have seen Mangue come up, who know how good he is, have wanted to cheer for him all along. But they've never really had the opportunity to, because as good as he is in the ring, he'll always bust something out that's inconsistent with that. You know, he'll go to the eyes, he'll go to his opponent's throat, taking a shortcut, taking a cheap shot, and you can't celebrate that. Gulak misses, he gets taken down with a neck breaker from Mangue. Not sure he got all of it, but rolling into position, a variation of the rolling thunder, but coming down with that headbutt. Now, I didn't think that Mangue was going to put Gulak away. You know, as this match goes on, as time wears these athletes down, as they get, you know, more and more exhausted, it becomes more difficult to effectively put together a combination of offense. And there we saw Mangue, you know, did not get the full grasp on that neck breaker, so it wasn't as much impact when Gulak came down. And, you know, he was out of position for that headbutt as well. But what is this? He's got the arms trapped. And now he's grapevine the legs, too, almost like a sleeper hold. Gulak's arms have nowhere to go. He's going to have to submit right here. Gulak able to free one of his arms, and now going right to that half crab. And he is not screwed around right now. All pressure applied. Just the way he was arching it. Mangue, though, able to get to the ropes. And we're back to square one. I mean, it's a standoff. We've seen so many times in this contest where, you know, it seemed like one guy was going to have a definitive advantage, only for the other competitor to find a way. And look at this, Jonny Mangue going for his choke bomb, able to hit it. He's finished off a number of opponents right into the pin, and Drew Gulak still able to kick out. And Jonny Mangue's beside himself. Now going to hook the leg, but Gulak getting the shoulder off the mat, and again. Gulak is not going to roll over and die for Jonny Mangue. And I don't know the last time that Mangue has been in the ring with a competitor of the caliber of Drew Gulak. You know, Drew Gulak did not even wrestle yesterday. He's caught right here. Oh. Able to kick out. And now Mangue with a schoolboy of his own. But as Gulak kicks out, he's able to get a hold of the arms. And again, going for that variation of a sleeper hold. But he's going to be careful because he's going to get pinned. But there you see Mangue, as he kicks out, able to use his momentum to bring his opponent back down to the mat. And again, a lot of pressure applied to the neck. What's Drew Gulak going to do here? If he doesn't give it up, he might be in serious trouble. That's it, he's out. Jonny Mangue able to put away Drew Gulak here at the Ringleaders taping with that brand new submission. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, with the arms trapped and then just applying the legs across the neck. Jonny Mangue, victorious at the Ringleaders taping, and not even relying on any nefarious tactics. He did it all on his own, just using his wrestling ability. And Drew Gulak is out. I've got to think that, you know, the way that hold was applied, perhaps cutting off the blood flow to the brain. Something similar that you would see to a rear chin lock. And there you see all of the other wrestlers on ringside, how much respect they have for Jonny Mangue, especially since he's doing it on his own. You know, making sure that his opponent, Drew Gulak, is okay. Telling him what a hell of a match it was. A great opponent and a great athlete. But what a deadly submission out of Jonny Mangue. In less than 30 seconds, able to put his opponent down for the count. I'm not even sure Gulak knows where he is right now. Never even had the opportunity to submit on his own. Basically just put to sleep. Take a look at Corvus Fear. He's been by ringside for this entire match, and there you see Corvus Fear telling him that he did it on his own, and that's what he needs to see out of Jonny Mangue, and hopefully that is what we will continue to see out of Jonny Mangue for the rest of 2011. Nothing but respect. That's what Beyond Wrestling's all about.